Well then, that's a good way to start. Damn. From what I'm aware, Frosty is one of the best phobies in the game right now. It's kind of broken. It had to be nerfed a while back, but even then, it's still just absolutely demolishing everything. I think I have a lot of matches coming up, like that I have to record, which showcase Frosty like very well, but this is not one of them. This is a match against a very high level player, which I always think is a very, well, I'm always very proud to show when I win against a higher level player. Like not just higher, right, but like significantly higher. I really do not like sending Phobies down there unless it's Tiny Tim. Yeah. Especially not a Maggie, because come on. It does have too much HP for me to do much about it, but I prefer to send a Ginsting and then send a Morty to just kill it. I mean, sure, not everyone has Morty, but you know, it's just not something I want to risk. This guy's playing extremely aggressive, and I've made a video. I'm not sure if one or multiple, but definitely like at least one, about playing aggressively and how you're supposed to keep the pressure on. I think like one of the best examples of that is the quadruple 1 key open on that one map. But here I'm the one playing defense because this guy's pulls are so good. He doesn't really need to worry much about setting up big focus. Like if he just spams his low keys, he can just overwhelm me, you know. Especially since he took advantage of my positioning and he's got a fast start. I'm going for double Ginsting here. I like to go double Ginsting on this map. He's trying to capture all the points and playing extremely aggressive, as you can see, like extremely aggressive. Even sending Phobies a little close to my vault. But that's gonna have its punishments. Its punishments? No, its consequences, yeah. Still, 1000 damage on my heart is not fun, right? It's not a joke. Pick up the Drony and back off, send Snowball for a healing spell, back my Razor Mouth. Use a Cassowary to damage their Cassowary, send Hematic in. Since the way that Owl and because of the way that Owl and Eternal are positioned here, just Hematic right there is a pretty smart thing to do. And putting Minotaur in between all that is just really good for dealing with a bunch of small phobies. If you have him, I really recommend using him for that purpose. Looking back on it, I'm not 1000% sure why I put Snowball there, but it does benefit me that I put Minotaur there. I wasn't really planning for Snowball to die. I would have liked to have kept him around, but what can you do? It's definitely a mistake on my end. Sends out Tooth Fairy and Wiggy. Wiggy is crazy. I wonder how much damage he does. Level 16, I think it's one of his lower level ones. 17, 18, 17, yeah, I was right, 19. The point of like rushing like this isn't really about caring about your focus, it's more about just like stalling once you own all the points, and this guy owns a lot of the points, so he's trying to stall, which is why he doesn't care about the Owl dying or the Eternal Knight very obviously dying, he's just stalling. Okay, this is a good thing because that's a very good reason as to why I started a little slow, I guess you could say. I went for a Ginsting over here instead of a Morty to kill the Maggie, because it's 5 keys to murder 2 keys. It's not that big of a it's not that serious, you know. But when we're talking about like a murder wing, right, which even though it's 3 keys, it's still a really good phobia. Then that's very worth it. Sounds like a temptress to try and counter my Morty. The Ginstings are kind of, all my phobias are kind of suffering, honestly. But take out the wiki, back the Minotaur up, reposition my Morty, and send out Molly Bully. Because he's a really good melee. I like him. He's trying to keep the pressure on, sends Razor for the bottom point, Tooth Fairy to guard top point and pressure, Temptress on the healing spot, and brings in Miss Muffet, which I find kind of weird because if you're gonna go all out, you would go all out. What is Miss Muffet gonna do if it pulls? You know? There's no like huge phobia to spank up my ones if Miss Muffet pulls in like my Hematic or my Molly, for example. Anyways, he really slips up with that positioning there because then I can very easily kill both their Tooth Fairy and their Razor Moth. And then I send Tiny Tim for bottom point, which like I know can get poisoned very easily, but that's not really my point. It's just the fact that you can't get murdered instantly. So it's a good thing I waited to do that too. Yeah, poisoning a Tiny Tim is one of the best things you can do, because his passive ability doesn't really work with them. Blink is a really strong phobia too, like in terms of melee. If your opponent has a lot of melee and you're trying to outlast, he can win a lot of slap fights. 1 for his damage and 2 for the fact that he's an undead, so he will heal back a lot of the health he loses in the slap fight. Anyways, since I'm not really gonna care about taking points now. Have a huge phobia advantage, so I'm just straight pushing and trying to demolish all the phobias right now. Pushing with a cupcake too. That on either of my Ginstings or my Morty would be very nasty. Tiny Tim suffered a lot of poison though. Kinda tragic. Sadly, he takes on my Hematic, who pulled off a lot of nice stuff here, but it's alright. Tiny Tim is beyond that. Sends at a half, which I think he should have sent out a long time ago. This is really not the time for that. Especially for the fact that I have like my Minotaur like ready to just go and rip their shit. Minotaur is like a really nice guy to cupcake. Because the whole idea of cupcaking a folk is to get maximum damage, maximum use out of your damage. Like, no joke, I have no idea what this dude was thinking, putting them right next to my Minotaur after I brought out my cupcake. But they both go with Ginsting claims their souls. Now reposition my Moria to keep him kinda safe from that Temptress. And just like that, I don't know, 6 keys gone in exchange for 2 keys of the cupcake. And I guess you could say 4 keys for the Ginsting, but not really, you know? I mean, it's just always gonna die. Send my Phobies to get Temptress. Demolish the Spud. Should have hit with Morty first to get more points for the event, but it's alright. And that's pretty much it. I hope you could like see the good decisions I made to defend. Mostly being like, it has a lot to do with positioning. Playing into the positioning very well. You have to play them very I mean, sure, like with all matches, you have to play smart, but especially if you're getting pushed on, like a very heavy, like rushed on by somebody with a bunch of high level phobias, they usually for low keys. So the better thing to do is to just focus on strong units that can take them out, especially AoE units, and ones that buff those AoE units. That's like your best bet. That's your best bet at clapping back. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to show that. Bye bye.